can't stop. I can't stop. I can't stop. I can't stop. I can't stop.
Episode 1. The movie begins with two kids debating who would win in a fight, the deep or translucent. Suddenly, a stolen money van almost hits them, but Queen Maeve stops it and fights the bad guys with Homelander. News reporters highlight how Homelander and Queen Maeve love being in the spotlight. Meanwhile, Huey Campbell, ignored by his boss, meets his girlfriend Robin. As they talk about moving in together, Robin is killed by A-Train, a fast superhero who accidentally crashes into her. Huey is left holding Robin's hand, covered in her blood. A-Train apologizes, claiming Robin stepped into the street while he was chasing robbers. Vought offers Huey $45,000 in exchange for him signing a non-disclosure agreement. Huey considers suing A-Train but refuses to accept the money. Later, Starlight joins the Seven. At Vought's event, the Deep introduces Starlight as the new member. During a tour, the Deep demands a sexual favor from Starlight to stay in the Seven, threatening to lie to Homelander if she refuses. Huey, still grieving, meets Billy Butcher, who works with the FBI. Billy explains how superheroes, or supes, kill people without facing consequences. He shows Huey a video of A-Train laughing about Robin's death. Billy gives Huey a report suggesting A-Train is lying about the accident. Billy convinces Huey to accept the $45,000 offer and plant a listening device in the Seven's headquarters. Huey initially refuses but is determined to get revenge. Madeline Stillwell offers Baltimore's mayor $300 million for a superhero, Nubian Prince. The mayor refuses and threatens to expose Compound Phi unless she accepts $200 million. Starlight tries to confide in her mom about the Deep's assault, but ends up crying. Huey comforts her, and they share their struggles. Huey agrees to Billy's plan and calls Vought, demanding A-Train apologize face-to-face. At the Seven's meeting, Starlight stands up to the Deep and announces she's staying. Huey nervously meets A-Train, plants a listening device, and signs the NDA without realizing Translucent saw him. Madeline offers the mayor $230 million to keep quiet about Compound V. Later, Translucent attacks Huey, but Billy crashes into him to save Huey. Billy and Translucent fight, and Huey electrocutes Translucent. Meanwhile, Homelander uses his laser vision to destroy a plane with the mayor and his son, killing everyone on board. Episode 2. After their fight with Translucent, Billy and Huey escape the police with Translucent's body in the car trunk, only to find he's still alive and banging inside. Huey wants to let him go, but Billy convinces him that they need justice for Robin. Billy takes Huey to meet Frenchie, who is worried about Homelander coming after them. Meanwhile, A-Train visits a cancer patient at the hospital, but the boy is disappointed as he wanted to meet Translucent, not A-Train. At the Seven, Madeline Stillwell and Ashley Barrett discuss Translucent's disappearance, while Starlight meets Black Noir and is upset to learn the Deep will join her on her first patrol. Billy, Frenchie, and Huey trap Translucent in an electric cage, but Frenchie worries about killing him due to his invincible skin. Homelander asks Madeline about Translucent's whereabouts, but she reassures him they are handling it. Huey receives a call from his dad, urging him to come home. At the Seven, Homelander warns the Deep about speaking out regarding a secret he witnessed on a plane. Frenchie tries to make a bullet to pierce Translucent's skin, but it fails. Translucent taunts them, saying he's invincible, but the shot damages the foil covering the room. The Seven detects the tracker and sends a team to search for Translucent. On patrol with the Deep, Starlight gets frustrated with him and calls him the Fish Guy. They catch criminals smuggling pills and Homelander toys, which Vought uses for self-promotion, angering Starlight. Billy waits for CIA Deputy Director Susan Rayner, asking for secret superhero files. Rayner refuses, saying the files are hidden even from her. Huey questions Translucent about Robin's death and A-Train's rush. Frenchie spots a suspicious truck, but the Vought security checks the area and finds nothing. At a Vought fundraiser, Madeline convinces a senator who fears Homelander to support the superhero military plan. Starlight saves a woman from attackers, unaware someone is recording it. Frenchie fails to kill Translucent and offers Huey drugs, which Huey refuses. Frenchie enjoys figuring out ways to kill superheroes. The senator is blackmailed with photos of him sleeping with doppelganger, and Ashley warns Starlight about a video making her look bad. Starlight is told to meet with Vaught's crisis team. Homelander asks about Translucent's whereabouts. Frenchie discovers Translucent's skin is invincible, but his insides are normal. He knocks Translucent out, placing a bomb inside him. Translucent offers info on A-Train and Popclaw. Homelander arrives, causing panic. Frenchie distracts him while Translucent escapes. Huey triggers the bomb, blowing Translucent up, leaving him shocked as he cleans up the aftermath. Episode 3. Billy and Frenchie clean up Translucent's remains and promise to handle the aftermath. Frenchie agrees to go home with Huey to get new clothes. At the 7 Tower, Starlight meets with Madeline Stillwell, who discusses the video of Starlight stopping an assault. Starlight is shown a revealing new superhero outfit, but refuses to wear it, threatening her position in the 7. Huey, disgusted by superhero merchandise, argues with his dad before leaving with Frenchie after apologizing. Billy meets his old friend Mother's Milk, in a juvenile detention center and convinces him to rejoin the boys after revealing they killed Translucent and plan to take down the 7 and Vought. Homelander worries about Translucent's death and the loss of his tracking chip. Stillwell gives him talking points for a military contract, but Homelander insists he does not need help. Billy, Frenchie, Mother's Milk, and Huey spy on Popclaw's apartment, hacking her electronics to gather information. Huey accidentally bumps into A-Train, but is not recognized. Homelander and Queen Maeve deal with a sniper, with Homelander killing him without hesitation. Maeve convinces Homelander to appear at A-Train's race, though she is concerned about his increasing ruthlessness. Billy and the group overhear A-Train talking about using Compound V and his guilt over killing Robin. Billy decides they must steal some Compound V for Frenchie to study. At the race, Mother's Milk and Huey discuss Translucent's death. Huey admits feeling good after killing him, which Mother's Milk compares to A-Train's rush from Compound V. During a reporter interview, Queen Maeve says that if people want superheroes in the military, they should tell Congress to make it happen. Meanwhile, Frenchie sneaks into A-Train's locker room to find Compound V, while Huey distracts Starlight, but Frenchie finds nothing because Shockwave, another speedster, shows up early. A-Train rushes off, quickly takes Compound V, and returns so fast no one notices. Mother's Milk, watching Popclaw through the surveillance, sees something suspicious and leaves before the race starts. With the help of Compound V, A-Train wins the race easily. After the race, back at Popclaw's apartment, Mother's Milk watches as Popclaw angrily looks at a vial of Compound Vi. Upset about A-Train's behavior, Popclaw injects the drug and becomes super strong, lifting heavy weights. Popclaw's landlord comes to ask for rent. She invites him in, and they start doing sexual role play. But during this, Popclaw accidentally crushes the landlord's head. Billy and Frenchie rush in, planning to use this incident to blackmail Popclaw into telling them everything she knows about Compound V. Meanwhile, Homelander and the Deep show Stillwell a box containing Translucent's remains. Inside the box lid, there is a spray-painted message, "Coming for you." Episode 4. Billy Butcher dreams about happy moments with his wife Becca, remembering their time together with a dog. He wakes up and watches an old CCTV video. Billy meets Susan Rayner, offering to stop superheroes from joining the military. She dismisses his claims until he shows her photos of A-Train and Popclaw using Compound V. Susan hints she knows what happened to Translucent and promises a reward for proof. Billy calls Popclaw, who reveals they have been monitoring a noodle shop. She says A-Train picks up noodles after his runs, and Compound V likely comes from nearby. Mother's Milk, Huey, and Frenchie follow a worker to a warehouse where they find a captive girl, Kimiko. She kills most of her captors, and the group realizes A-Train is moving Compound V there, and Kimiko is being dosed with it. Billy encourages Huey to pursue a relationship with Starlight and hack her phone. Meanwhile, Stillwell and her team plan to cover up Translucent's death by saying he's on a secret mission. Stillwell sends Homelander and Queen Maeve to handle a hijacked plane, hoping to gain Congress's support for superheroes in the military. Frenchie meets Cherie to get weapons for dealing with Kimiko. She gives him a chemical to knock her out and expresses missing him. A-Train returns to the warehouse to find his team dead. At 7 Tower, the Deep asks Stillwell for help with dolphins at Oceanland, and she reluctantly agrees. A-Train accuses Popclaw of revealing Compound V, and they argue. He tells her to pack and leave. Huey and Starlight go bowling. Huey struggles with guilt over Translucent's death and hacks Starlight's phone. Homelander and Maeve abandon a hijacked plane, letting all passengers, including children, die when Homelander refuses to save them. The boys discover Kimiko killed her old boss. They worry A-Train will recognize her. Frenchie figures out Kimiko is trying to go home, and they track her down using a subway schedule. Mother Milk knows a postman who can help trace Compound V. At the subway, they split up. Frenchie finds Kimiko hiding in an electronics store but scares her, causing her to run. During their date, Starlight and Huey discuss past relationships. Huey struggles with visions of Robin's death. The boys argue about a past mission. Butcher reminds them they work better as a team. The Deep rescues a dolphin from Oceanland but kills it when he crashes into a police roadblock. The boys find Kimiko, but A-Train defeats her. Frenchie distracts A-Train, allowing Kimiko to escape. Billy knocks her out with chemicals. On a beach, wreckage from the crashed plane washes ashore. Maeve mourns, while Homelander lies about being too late to save the passengers and pushes for superheroes in the military. Stillwell watches. Episode 5, Popclaw hides while smoking marijuana. A-Train arrives and tells her that Stillwell will allow their relationship to be public if she reveals who she told about Compound V. After Popclaw describes the people, A-Train kills her by injecting her with heroin. At 7 Tower, A-Train informs Homelander of Popclaw's overdose. Homelander questions A-Train about Compound V, and A-Train promises to find Kimiko. Frenchie cooks for Kimiko, but she attacks him in frustration. At the Believe Expo, Starlight and Huey grow closer. Huey is introduced to Starlight's rude mother, and Ezekiel performs. Butcher shows Huey a video of Ezekiel's misconduct and plans to blackmail him for information about Compound V. During Homelander's speech, Queen Maeve walks out, disagreeing with his methods. Meanwhile, Huey and Starlight discuss changes in their beliefs. Huey asks Starlight for a special pass to meet Ezekiel, which she agrees to. Homelander later confronts Madeline about the speech, frustrated with her focus on Teddy Stillwell. Billy visits Becca's sister Rachel, angry about the headstone placed for Becca's missing body. Rachel reminds him they all miss Becca. A-Train, guilt-ridden over Popclaw's death, finds blackmail footage of her killing her landlord and learns of Butcher and Frenchie's involvement. He warns the tech guy and later confronts Ezekiel. At Ezekiel's meeting, Homelander threatens Huey during a baptism, and Huey uses blackmail to force Ezekiel to reveal details about Compound V. Huey shares the info with Mother's Milk, who tells Butcher. At the festival, Homelander gives another speech, but much to Stillwell's disappointment, he changes it. He says he answers to a higher power and won't wait for Congress's approval to protect America. Queen Maeve, feeling guilty about the plane crash, visits her ex-girlfriend Elena. Maeve admits to drinking again and tries to kiss Elena but is rejected. Realizing it was a mistake, Maeve leaves. Cherie warns Frenchie that Black Noir was spotted near her apartment, signaling their hiding places might be compromised. At the hospital, Butcher and Mother's Milk try to intercept a Compound V shipment. Frenchie calls for help, saying he has been spotted. Butcher tells him to leave Kimiko behind, but Frenchie frees her. Kimiko runs away. Starlight, frustrated with her script, stops the music and tells the audience she does not believe in the speech. She also reveals she was sexually assaulted, hinting at the Deep. At the hospital, Butcher and Mother's Milk discover babies injected with Compound V. Realizing superheroes are lab-created, Huey and Starlight argue after Huey used her to get close to Ezekiel. He apologizes, saying he has been lost since Robin's death. Butcher obtains Compound V, but armed men attack. Billy uses the laser eye baby to kill the attackers. Stillwell confronts Homelander about his reckless speech, but Homelander acts childish and lies on her lap. Frenchie is attacked by Black Noir, but Kimiko saves him. However, Black Noir severely beats Kimiko, leaving her seemingly dead, though she heals herself. Episode 6. A Vought promotional video, Super in America, shows the Seven doing good deeds, but Courtney criticizes it as a strategy to push superheroes into the military. At a pub quiz, Huey's friend Anthony embarrasses him with stories about his past, but Huey brushes it off, saying he wanted a fresh start. Mother's Milk reveals that Vought's Samaritan's Embrace is shipping Compound Phi to hospitals, proving superheroes are made, not born. Butcher plans to share this evidence with Raina. Starlight overhears Ashley being fired for booking her at the Believe Expo. She confronts Stillwell, who is angry at her defiance, but eventually lets her go after Starlight threatens to expose Vought's cover-ups of sexual assault. At Seven Tower, A-Train lies about Popclaw in a promotional video. Queen Maeve, disappointed, tells Starlight that her childhood heroism was all marketing. Frenchie and Mother's Milk meet Mesmer to read Kimiko's mind, and Mesmer agrees in exchange for seeing his daughter under supervision. Butcher tells Huey about his wife Becca's disappearance and Homelander's involvement. Homelander complains about the fake video and is convinced by Stillwell to finish it. Mesmer tries to read Kimiko's mind but triggers painful memories and injures himself. Mother's Milk convinces him to continue. Billy, suspicious of MM's whereabouts, calls him out for lying, knowing their phones are being tracked. At Maeve's video shoot, Elena confronts Maeve about not replying to her messages. Maeve lies, claiming it was just a hookup, but Elena does not believe her. Butcher visits Mesmer's house, suggesting they kill him, but Mother's Milk disagrees. Mesmer reads Kimiko's mind and reveals she was a terrorist before being captured, which shocks Frenchie. Huey wonders why Vought would give Compound Phi to terrorists. Butcher deduces Vought is creating supervillains to justify putting superheroes in the military. Kimiko reveals more of her past to Mesmer. Her parents were killed, and she and her brother were forced into wars. Now, she just wants to save her brother. Butcher meets Raina, offering Compound V in exchange for demands, a salary, office, and punishment for Homelander. Raina agrees to everything except punishing Homelander, fearing his wrath. Frenchie offers to take Kimiko to the airport, but she decides to stay. Butcher later reveals Raina rejected their demands and that they do not need her to take down Vought. Mesmer meets Homelander and offers spy photos of Huey and the boys in exchange for a favor, but Homelander walks away without a promise. At a bar, Huey and Starlight talk about leaving New York together and kiss. Butcher interrupts and hints that Translucent is still involved, making Huey suspicious of Starlight. Episode 7. In a flashback, Butcher and Becca attend a Christmas party where Homelander thanks Becca, which irritates Billy. In the present, Butcher watches as Huey and Starlight sleep together. Huey admits he quit his job after Robin's death and is embarrassed for Starlight to meet his dad. The Deep moves to Sandusky as ordered by Stillwell and starts writing his memoir. A-Train is warned by his coach to stop using Compound V, but after a message from Homelander, he goes to Seven Tower. Homelander scolds the Seven and shows a photo of Huey, blaming him for Translucent's death and other events. He suspects Starlight is helping Huey, but Maeve calms him down. Huey wants to stop fighting Vought, but is pressured by Butcher to admit it's because of Starlight. A-Train threatens Huey's dad, and the boys realize Mesmer has betrayed them. At A-Train's house, Huey negotiates with A-Train, offering Compound V for his father's safety. But Kimiko arrives and breaks A-Train's leg. They escape, leaving him badly hurt. Meanwhile, Monique and Mother's Milk argue about his work with Butcher. Stillwell tells Homelander that only a few votes are needed to push the Seven into the military. She mentions Becca's presumed death, but claims she just quit. Butcher confronts Mesmer at the subway, beats him up, and kills him after Mesmer tries to read his mind and offers help finding Becca. A flashback shows Becca visiting Homelander's office, leading to Mallory recruiting Butcher for the boys. Starlight ignores Huey's calls, and Maeve warns her about caring for others. Frenchie looks for a safe place for the boys, while Huey continues trying to contact Starlight. Butcher meets Huey's dad and Mother's Milk's daughter, and Monique slaps him. MM urges Butcher to accept Raina's deal for their family's safety. Homelander meets Jonah Vogelbaum, who reveals Becca was pregnant with Homelander's child 8 years ago, but both Becca and the baby died during childbirth. Jonah apologizes, calling Homelander his biggest mistake. Raina and the CIA visit Frenchie's hideout, with Raina offering to protect the boys and MM's family. Monique tells MM she never wants to see him again, as he says goodbye to his daughter. Butcher accepts Raina's deal, giving her Compound V. Raina confronts Stillwell, demanding the cancellation of the military deal or the CIA will expose Vought's secrets. Later, Huey meets Starlight in the park. She accuses him of using her for revenge and tries to arrest him. Huey tells her about Compound V and Butcher shoots Starlight twice, allowing Huey to escape. Episode 8. In Syria, Homelander kills people in a drug warehouse and retrieves a vial of Compound V. U.S. Secretary of Defense Robert Singer questions how a Syrian gang obtained Compound V, but Stillwell avoids the answer and admits it's the only way to combat superpowered individuals. Butcher learns from Raina that the CIA will keep Compound V secret to please Vought. Mother's Milk tries to expose it to the media but is rejected. The boys are now wanted by the law, and Mother's Milk and Frenchie plan to split, but Butcher has other plans. Starlight confronts her mother about Compound V. Her mom admits to agreeing to the experiment for Starlight's special life, which makes Starlight angry. The Deep is stuck in Sandusky trying to write his memoir. Billy takes Huey to meet Grace Mallory, but she refuses to help after the death of her grandchildren by lamplighter. Frenchie, Kimiko, and Mother's Milk are attacked by commandos and Kimiko is tranquilized. At a store, A-Train is accused of stealing, leading to a public argument. Billy and Huey find the boys' motel empty. They have been captured by a Vought team. Huey feels betrayed by Billy and leaves. The Deep feels useless after shaving his head. Huey asks Starlight for help. She initially refuses, but is convinced when Huey talks about Naqib and Vaught's wrongdoings. She agrees to use her clearance to find Naqib. At a Vought fundraiser, Mr. Edgar promotes Stillwell, which pleases her. Maeve advises Starlight to stay true to herself, inspiring Starlight to help Huey. Homelander reveals to Stillwell that he and A-Train gave Compound V to terrorists to create threats and push for military inclusion. Stillwell is shocked. Meanwhile, Frenchie and Mother's Milk are locked in cages. MM admits he hid his daughter for her protection, and Frenchie worries about Kimiko. Stillwell admits to lying about Homelander's child to protect him. Huey is captured but secretly hides a wire in his retainer. Frenchie uses it to escape, and Huey tells the others that Butcher is after Homelander. Stillwell returns home and finds Billy waiting, who suggests she's Homelander's weakness. Frenchie and the team find Kimiko tied up, but they are attacked. After a shootout, Starlight arrives to save them. A-Train confronts Huey and Starlight, admitting to killing Popclaw but blaming Huey. A-Train collapses from a heart attack while attacking Huey, and Starlight tells Huey to run. Billy straps explosives to Stillwell and waits for Homelander. When Homelander arrives with Stillwell's baby, he teases Billy about Becca. Billy reveals his motive is to hurt Homelander. Homelander kills Stillwell with his laser vision after she admits to fearing him. Billy triggers the explosives, wakes up on a lawn, and is shocked to see Becca alive with a young boy. Homelander tells the boy he is his father. Hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, share your thoughts in the comments below, and subscribe to our channel for more great content. Thank you for watching.